Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with fabulous concert programs, number 107. We haven't done these for a while. If you haven't been around, or if you have been around, I don't know. There are 106 of them so far, and this is number 107, because a couple of you have said to me, I wish you'd revive that. I've been enjoying them very much, and I really am very grateful for the request. Maybe this is not quite what you had in mind in a revival, but I think it's sort of in light of what we've been doing lately. It's a fun topic to take up. This is program number 107, really bad music. I mean, music that has been ignored because it's widely considered to be dreadful, absolutely dreadful, terrible, atrocious, or at least controversial in terms of taste, quality, moral probity, whatever. So we have three works on this program. And the first is one we just talked about the other day. It's Richard Strauss's Japanese festival music, Japanische Festmusik, the piece he wrote for the 2600th anniversary of the Japanese Empire at the request of Goebbels in 1940, also to celebrate Japan's lovely allegiance with Hitler's Germany. I mean, no wonder it's been brushed under the rug. One of you pointed out, I thought for a while, that the only recording of it was Strauss's own from 1940 in lousy sound. That's not true. You pointed out, and now that you pointed out, I remember, there was another recording, Vladimir Ashkenazy with the Czech Philharmonic on Exton. The problem with that recording, it came with, I think, Till Eulenspiegel and Also sprach Zarathustra. None of them were very good. And the recording was the Rudolfinum is the most reverberant room in the world. And when it's empty, it's even worse. And the whole point of doing the Japanische Festmusik is to have an absolutely thrilling recording so we can hear all of the sonic splendor of the piece with its tuned gongs and tam-tams going off and celesta and harps. And, well, you don't really in this performance. It was, I remember being so disappointed. I don't have the record anymore, the CD. It was on Exton, and I at least maybe it's in the overflow room. I don't even remember what happened to it. That's how sort of anonymous it was for me. It wouldn't surprise me if I don't have it anymore. Let's put it that way. But we're coming up to Strauss and the random reviews from the Overflow Room series soon, and we'll figure out if it's there or not, or if I had it somewhere else. Anyway, the bottom line is it's a dreadful piece of music. Potentially. It's a big, blowsy, bombastic piece of orchestral mayhem that Strauss could churn these things out, in about 30 seconds. And it's about 15 minutes long, so it makes a wonderful opening. It's for overture type work. I mean, it's not longer than like Leonora number 3. So what the heck? Let's start this concert with this extremely controversial bit of unknown Strauss and let the audience decide with a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And that's how I do it, if ever this stuff could be done live, which of course is probably never going to happen. But I would really, really ask people to give it a vote after each work. So after that, after the overture type opening piece, you've got to have the concerto. Now the concerto is Heraclius Djabadary's piano concerto in A minor. It's not number anything. It's in A. There are others, apparently, but it's his concerto in A minor, I think it is. It's the only one available. It is the worst piano concerto ever. It's on YouTube. You can go hear it. I've made a video about it. It was early in the history of this channel, so maybe not as many of you heard about it as should have, but you can go listen to it, and it is truly, truly awful. Oh my goodness, it's awful in so many ways. It's almost impossible to describe. And so I'm not going to try, other than to say that in terms of stiffness of phrasing, puerility of melodic inspiration, harmonic sterility, and rigidness of phrasing, especially the opening movement, which sounds sort of like a camel caravan. It's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And like I said, it's on YouTube. You can go hear it. It's great. And I made a video about it. So you can watch that too and just soak it in. That will bring us to a rousing conclusion for the first half of the program. Now, the second half of the program has to have the symphony. And most composers are really at their best. They're working very hard when they're trying to do symphonies. And so, bad symphonies are usually dull symphonies. But I wanted a bad symphony that isn't really dull, but that's just sort of vulgar and garish and melodically impoverished. And I have one. I've talked about that too in another video. It's the Khachaturian Second Symphony. Now his third symphony, which is called Symphony Poem or something like that, is even worse. But it's actually too short. It's only like 20 minutes long. But this is perfect. This is a big, grand, absolutely trashy piece of vulgar garbage. I used to call it The Attack of the Avon Lady. It actually has a subtitle, The Bell or something like that, because it has this bum, that sort of ding-dong thing. And I always have a vision whenever I hear it, of these fateful bells tolling, of some middle-aged suburban housewife with her makeup briefcase and conservative dress showing up at some lady's house with a kitchen knife in one hand. And as the bells are going off, bong, bong, and the woman opens up thinking it's the Avon lady there to sell her cosmetics. She starts slashing like, Psycho, something out of Psycho. It really, because the music actually would kind of work that way too. You know what I mean? The piece is really, really bad. And some of you disagree. I know there's some people out there who just love it, but that's the point. I'm saying these are the worst pieces you could possibly put together on a single symphony program. And some of you may like some of them better than others. But the interesting question is, would people actually come to such a thing? I think it would really be fun and interesting to question the usual, it's all just fabulously, wonderfully, incredibly, transmogrifyingly, metaphysically stupendous. That's what the classical music military industrial complex wants us to believe. And they don't want us to have choice. They don't want us to say, well, this really sucks. But we do it. We do it all the time. We go to concerts. We listen to programs. We listen to recordings. We like it. We don't like it. So to actually seize the bull by the horns and say, okay, here's your opportunity to say it's good or it stinks. And here are 3 wonderful candidates for ultimate stinkerhood. Give it a shot. So I think that would be a fun concert program that we'll never hear live in real life, but you can certainly play it at home. And I think it would be very enjoyable for you to have an evening of dreadful music and just see how it comes out. Because, one of the marvelous things about classical music generally, if you love music is wonderful, right? It's that even crappy music can be enormous fun to listen to. It really can, as long as it's not boring, as long as it doesn't put you to sleep. It can infuriate you. It can make you think. It can do all kinds of things. So these 3 pieces of absolute trash or garbage or vulgar emptiness or bombastic nonsense, whatever you want to call them, it's entirely up to you, but it's still going to be a blast to listen to them. And that's the paradox at the heart of this particular question. So maybe we'll do some more in this series. I mean, it was so much fun for me to do. They didn't get a lot of play when I posted them, so maybe they'll do a little better now. We'll see. You tell me. If you want more, I'm up for it at some point or another. We'll do a few more. In the meantime, really bad music. A concert that we all have to hear. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.